Hey guys, how are you? Today we're going to wind up taking this Eagle crank out of this block. Tools we're going to need a 5/8 impact socket. We're going to need an impact gun, and we're going to need a ball peen hammer. Alright, we turn the camera towards the motor. Okay, so we're going to go through this pretty quick. But a couple things I want to point out. Counterweight. It's got a hole drilled in it. That's for balancing. Let me see if I can get one of these oiling holes. I don't know if you guys can see all the way over there. Maybe I should shift this motor over. If you can see these holes, that's how we get pressurized oil to our connecting rods. And these are what's called chamfered out. They get a little bit better oiling than the stock ones. All right, the other thing that we've had to do when this motor was being put together is number the mains. This one's not numbered, but this is the only main for this motor that looks like this. This one's got a tiny little 2, this one's got a little 3, this one's got a 4 on it, and 5 is different because that's what's called, it's got a thrust bearing in it. There's a bearing in it that controls end play, side to side. This might be a little bit of a different motor than the other small blocks in the shop. What makes a difference is it's got a bigger main cap. This main cap makes the block a little bit more rigid, that it can handle a little bit more horsepower. That's why we found these kind of blocks in like your high-end Camaro, your Corvette, and some of your trucks. Another thing to note on these mains is that they have a little arrow on them for facing forward when we put them on. The other thing is when we put this back together, the outside bolts require a different torque spec than the inside ones. All right, well, let me get to it. I'm going to start taking these off with the impact gun. I bet a lot of you guys are kicking yourselves that did this motor in the class and be like, why didn't we grab an impact gun to take it apart? All right, so now I got them all loose. Now they just don't just wiggle off, so what we got to do is we got to tap them with a hammer. So that's the front one. Number 2. Number 3. Oh, there goes my light. Number 4. And our last one. Number 5, that has a thrust washer in it. It's also got the rear main seal. So if you guys can see, it's got a seal right here that keeps oil from leaking out the back of the motor. And if you look on the side of this bearing, how it wraps around the side, that's the bearing that controls end play. Alright, now that we got all the mains off, I should be able to lift this crank straight out. Oh, things are getting heavy in my old age. Let's be able to lift all this stuff. Very easy. Since I lost all that weight, I got very weak. Alright, another thing to note that we can look at this is these holes that are in our main bearings. This is how oil is pressurized to our bearings. Winds up going through holes in our block and lubricates all our bearings. Alright guys, that's it for today. Hope guys do your work. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And stay safe.